In this video, we're going to talk about the types of chemical reactions. We're going to talk about the five different chemical reactions. We have the synthesis, decomposition, combustion, single replacement, and double replacement.
Listen to what I have to say because I'm right.
Synthesis is a fancy word for combination. Here, the compound is made from simpler substance. To give you an image on how synthesis happens, let's have this equation. A plus B is equal to AB. So you have two substances in your reactant side forming one compound or one substance in the product side. So let's have, for example, the synthesis of carbon dioxide. In the reactants, you have one carbon plus one oxygen gas, yielding carbon dioxide molecule. Another one is the synthesis of nitrogen dioxide. So it comes from the colorless gas nitrogen monoxide. Then it will undergo a synthesis reaction, forming nitrogen dioxide. Take note that this equation is unbalanced. Most of the equations that I'm going to present are unbalanced.
I mean, is that allowed?
This is to avoid confusion. It's easier to look at the equations without the coefficients. Next, we have decomposition. Decomposition is basically the opposite of synthesis. So it is when the compounds are simplified. The compounds are broken down to the elements that make them up. To make it clearer, let's have the equation AB will yield A plus B. Remember in the synthesis, it's A plus B yielding AB. Now it's the opposite. So let's have, for example, the decomposition of water. When water or H2O decompose, you will have hydrogen gas plus oxygen gas. It's that simple. Another example is the decomposition of aqueous carbonic acid. When it undergoes this reaction, we will have a water molecule and a carbon dioxide. So from AB, you will now get two compounds with the same element. Okay?
Okay.
Now let's have combustion. Combustion is just the fancy word for burning. So this happens when a compound which contains carbon and hydrogen and sometimes oxygen combines with gas to produce carbon dioxide, CO2, and water, H2O. So a compound which contains carbon and hydrogen is called a hydrocarbon. Hydrocarbons are organic. To make it clearer, let's have this formula. CX, HY, and O2 plus O2 will yield CO2 plus H2O. X and Y are integers. Again, the oxygen here are in the parentheses because not all hydrocarbons contain oxygen. For example, the combustion of ethane. This one is a balanced reaction. So C2H6 plus O2 will yield carbon dioxide and water. You will learn more about this reaction when we go to organic chemistry. Here I just want to show you the product when a combustion reaction happens. Okay, let's have another one. Let's have another one. C2H5OH plus 3O2 will yield 2CO2 plus 3H2O. Now this one is actually an ethanol. It's the same as ethane, but this time it has oxygen. So if you write its formula in another way, it will be C2H6O. Now look at the coefficients. Coefficients changed a lot when oxygen was added. Now let's have the single replacement. In a single replacement, one element that starts out by itself replaces another element in a compound, replacing it out. Let's have this analogy. So let's say there are two friends dancing, but one person wants to dance too. So the guy in green will dance with the guy in wheelchair, leaving the other guy alone. An example equation will be the reaction between zinc and hydrochloric acid. So this will yield zinc chloride plus hydrogen gas. Zinc is the guy in yellow, hydrochloric acid, two friends dancing. Then they will exchange partners. So we will have zinc chloride, that would be the guy in green and the guy in wheelchair, plus hydrogen gas. So to make it more scientific, we'll have the equation A plus BC will yield AB plus C. Now let's go to the double replacement reaction. This is also called as the double displacement reaction. Here, the positive and the negative ion of the two compounds switch places. Okay, so let's go back to the analogy between the two friends. So remember, they switch places. This is from the single replacement. So here, the guy found another partner. When double replacement reaction occurs, they will switch partner. So the two friends are back, okay, together again. They are now happier.
Oh my god! Oh my god, I remember so many people.
For example, we have the sodium chloride plus silver 1 fluoride. This will undergo double replacement reaction, yielding sodium fluoride plus silver 1 chloride, or just silver chloride. So the general formula will be AB plus CD will yield AD plus CB. It is important to know that AC are both cations, okay, and DB are anions. Okay, so on that note, we will have sodium ion plus chlorine ion plus silver ion and fluorine ion. They will just change partners. Okay, so the sodium will partner with fluorine. The silver will now partner with the chlorine ion. So to summarize the discussion, we have five types of chemical reactions. We have synthesis or combination, and this is the formula A plus B yielding AB. Decomposition is just the opposite of synthesis. So AB will yield A plus B. Combustion is just burning. Any reaction of hydrocarbon will yield carbon dioxide plus water. For the single replacement or displacement, one element will replace another element. So the formula will be A plus BC will yield B plus AC. Now, in double replacement, what you have to remember is that the ions are interacting. So the compounds will switch ions. The formula will be A plus B plus CD will yield AD plus CB.
Period. Period. Pert.